Yeah. Body good. Going to the weather. I haven't had that in a while, man. Illness. Yeah.
Melo, if we could rewind to before the game first, just the honor that you received from the NBA, from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar about social justice, just kind of what that meant and how you can put it into context, being next to Kareem in that instance.
Well, I think we all know how important that award was when I first received it from Kareem. We all know how important the award is today. But the fact that he was able to present me with the actual physical award, him being there, just what that award means to myself, what that award means to my community, to my people, to my fans, and to my family. At the end of the day, having that in the house and understanding everything that comes along with that, the responsibility that come with that, the accountability that come with that, and to be able to say that I was the first one, to receive that award. I mean, it's hard to explain about what that feels like. It's an honor, for me to receive that, and I'm glad that Kareem is, actually having an award that's named after him.
To linger on this for a second, Melo, what kind of was Kareem one of the guys you looked up to when you were coming up before you got to the league, or when did you kind of learn about sort of his off-court voice and activities, and when did that become something that you wanted for yourself?
Yeah, I was always taught things about Kareem off the court and what he stood for before I was even, I even paid attention to him as a basketball player. Not to say that I wasn't a fan of his, but he was, I never seen him play before. So I know what he stood for, and those was the messages that was kind of instilled into me, into my community, just as far as what he stood for. His fight, his social justice fight, for so long, even when people were saying that he wasn't speaking or he wasn't talking, and he still was powerful, and for him to be able to tell those stories and guide this new generation, and give us advice, and let us still see him and let us still praise him and give him his flowers while he's still here. When it comes to, athletes and social justice, he's at the top.
And just quickly to touch on the game, I mean, obviously you were just mentioning that you're coming back from illness, AD playing through some pain, LeBron played through some pain on Friday. What's it like to see the team try to pull together, take these last shots here, and not be able to pull out a win in a game like this?
I mean, it's going to happen. I know how I felt today, just trying to get through it. But that's neither here or there. I still went out there and played. And guys want to finish it out. As you can see, nobody's quitting, but guys want to finish it out. Whether you injured, sick, whatever. I think that was more of the case for me tonight or today, this afternoon, of coming back and just wanting to be there for the team and kind of just putting to the side, how you feel personally, regardless of what's the film.
Melo, when you find out you're fighting through your non-COVID illness as you come back, what's it like when you hear LeBron's not playing now too? That it does. I mean, you get to see a glimpse of everything finally on Friday, going just short to get to the arena and then realize it's another step backwards for this group. Does it sort of feel like the story of the season?
Yeah, you take a couple steps forward, and you take more steps backwards. That's just the way it's been. It's things that we can't control. It's some things that we can't control. It's some things that we can't control. When it comes to the actual game of basketball, we can control some things, a lot of things. But when it comes to injuries and bodies and how people feeling and illnesses, you can't control that at that point. So, yeah, I mean, LeBron came back the other game, last game, didn't play today. I didn't play last game, played today. He didn't. So that's just kind of how we how we've been throughout the season. We never was able to get, or we're not able to get any good cohesiveness out there.
Hey Mello, you've had different experiences these last few years of like dealing with trying to get in the play-in tournament. I was wondering, when you look at the bubble playing with Portland, and then last year trying to hold on to the 6th seed, and now this year trying to fight to get in, what was it like to deal with all those different ebbs and flows?
It's different experiences. You deal with them as they come. My experience in fighting for the bubble that year was a lot different than last year, fighting for or trying to hold on to six seed, which is totally different than this experience this year of us trying to fight for the actual play-in game. So we're gonna see, man. We got I don't know how many games we got left. 4 games left. I mean, again, we know the stakes. We know what we have to do. We know what we must do. And we're gonna go finish it out and see what happens.
So, Melo, after this season is down to what it is now, how are you maintaining your spirit and keeping it in the right place?
I think that's the difficult part, to be honest. Keeping everybody together. Not saying that we're not, but it can be a difficult task of keeping guys together right now, coming down to the end of the season, the end of the stretch, understanding the situation that we're in. Guys can easily just start checking out. You haven't seen that. I know I haven't seen that from guys. At least when I'm around them in practice, on the bus, on the plane. I haven't seen anybody giving up. So it's a feeling that we never thought that we was going to experience or will experience, but it's here, and there's nothing we can do about it at this point. But look it in the face and deal with it and embrace it.
Melo, through the award recipient process with Kareem, have you developed a one-on-one rapport? And if you have, I don't know if you're aware, but Kareem also spoke about some critiques he had of LeBron today, and he said he would welcome a one-on-one interaction. And do you feel like you could help facilitate something like that? And would that be a good thing for both of them to hash out together versus using media platforms, considering both of their standing in the Black community and in the NBA community?
Yeah, I don't know what's the discrepancies there. I hear it. We all read it, but I don't know what's the root of the actual. I don't even think there's an issue, to be honest with you. But I'll be that. I'll sit in the room with those guys and then bring them in. I don't think no media needs to be involved in that. That's two grown men, two powerful Black men getting in the room together and talking and speaking, and putting things on the table. However anybody feels. I'm around Bron, so I know he don't talk about it much. I don't know if he can pay attention to it or not. He hear it. I'm sure he hears it, but yeah, that's a conversation that two Black men need to have in our community. We need those tough conversations. We need those uncomfortable conversations. So if Kareem want to sit down and talk, Bron want to sit down and talk, I think that's a conversation that needs to be had. I don't think we need Kareem lashing out at Bron, and you haven't seen Bron say anything about Kareem. So I think that's easier. It's a lot easier than we envisioning it. We thinking about it. And again, it's behind closed doors. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's the issues, and we go from there. We both men. We both Black men, and I think that'll be a powerful conversation. Thank you.